Hi everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a preview of Glass Garden by Roshni Patel. It's a one-player game, takes about 15 minutes, ages 10 and up. Thank you to Button Shy for sending me this preview copy. I'm going to show you the cards and kind of just give you a brief overview of how to play. A full tutorial will be coming to my channel at a later time. Alright, so it comes with these 18 cards. And first, I guess I'll talk about the glass cards. So these glass cards will be placed in a way that they kind of look like a full, kind of like mason jar, I guess. And yeah, they'll be placed like this. And I guess as I go through the cards, I will place them out as needed. But basically, these will have words on it that say, grow succulents, flip if adjacent succulent is grown. So I'll go into detail on that. And these are double-sided. So there's a dark side, which is this side, and a light side, which is on this side. When you set up the game, you do put them on the dark side. And then you'll just put them just like this. And in this very specific order so that it looks like, a glass bottle. Then you have 8 plant cards that look like this. So this is one side of it. This is kind of like the seed side or the soil side. And then you'll flip it over and you'll see these beautiful succulents. So there are 8 of these. And essentially you will be placing them down in a middle row, kind of along this here, soil side face up, because you're going to want to grow these succulents throughout the game. And to grow them, you're going to try to create this pattern, which is 3 of this icon. And you'll notice there's icons at the top and at the bottom. So when I get into the quick overview of how to play, it'll make a little bit more sense. But they do also have abilities which tell you what it can do on the other side once you grow them. So this one says swap the 2 edge plants, then place 1 in the top row and 1 in the bottom row. And then this one says shift 1 plant to a different column on the same side of the critter and place it in any row. And that's really a perfect segue, I guess, to the critter cards. So there are 4 critter cards. When you play the game, you're only playing with 1. So we have the ant, snail, worm, and fly. The rulebook does state that if you're playing your first game, to play with fly, mostly because if you notice, there is something called damage on each of these cards, and the only one that doesn't do damage is the fly. But overall, let me just choose the worm. This tells you how to play the game. So you're going to take 2 actions. You can move one of the plant cards up or down a row. And there's really only 3 rows. There's a top, middle, and lower row. And then you can move it to the right or left, depending on the arrow, I guess, over here. And it does say not past the critter. So in my tutorial, hopefully that will make more sense. And then grow succulents, this says meat cost, flip succulent, glass, perform effect. So that means you'll flip a succulent or the adjacent glass if there is one, and you'll perform any of the effects. And then this one has a damage. So after you take your 2 actions, you grow your succulents, damage happens. All plants in the 3 closest columns on the right side would take damage, and that means they will just move down a row. And then advanced critter, you'll just move this worm to the right and you'll flip it over. So you'll flip it over, and this is the new action. The arrow has now pointed left, and then the damage, I think the damage did change to say the left side. And then advanced critter, shift right and flip. So yeah. So and just to complete the setup, you would put the critter all the way on the left here. So throughout your game, you're going to be shifting these up or down or to the right and left, filling the gaps. And I guess, just quickly looking at this, if you wanted to try to grow this succulent, which requires these 3 to be next to each other, what you would do is you would probably make a movement like this, and then you would look at the soil. So there's one of that icon here, one here, and one here. They're basically in a row here. So that means I'd be able to grow this succulent and flip it over, and since it is next to a glass, I'd be able to flip over the glass as well. So when the critter actually reaches all the way to the right glass card, you take one more turn, and then when the critter can't advance in step 4, which is, I guess, the advancing critter section of your critter card, you end the game and you go into scoring. So the scoring is basically, I guess, the sunlight phase. And so you could do the sunlight phase, which I'll go into more detail during my tutorial video. And then you'll continue to score. And you score basically 2 points per succulent in the top row, 1 point per succulent in the middle or bottom rows, and then 0 points per plant card that's still on its soil side. And then there's a scoring range depending on how well you did. 16 being the highest score and 0 being the lowest. All right. Well, that was my preview of Glass Garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'll be creating a solo playthrough of this on my channel very soon, and I'll see you next time. Bye.